And we should be live. Let's get this fucking mess started. Holy fuck, you guys. It's gonna be if you don't like the F bomb, this might not be your stream tonight. I'm telling you that right now. Yowzer bow. Alright. Enough of that. Make sure we're all good, live, and loud. Check, 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 check. I don't know. I got it cranked up. I don't know why. Ever since I updated to Windows 11. It's not terrible. Terrible. See, why the fuck is it? It should be fucking redlining when I yell like that, but it's not. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to add some gain to this just because the name of the show is Live and Loud, or maybe it's not tonight, but check, check. All right. Hello there. Hey there. Stephanie, what's up, sister? Yeah, I don't know what to think. I knew this was there was just no doubt in my mind, and I was more than happy to be ready to be wrong. But I don't want to sound like a fucking ass hat know-it-all, because I'm not even close. I just want to be clear to everybody who ever listens or watches this stream. I am far from a know-it-all, but some things you get right, and it just seemed like this one was way too obvious. I mean, the Trump administration are complete tyrants. It's not just like one-offs here and there or whatever, you know? I mean, the main shit show started on January 6th, 2021. And I think from there it's just like, holy fuck. You know, the enemy within Trump talks about is him. He's warning us about himself. Yeah. Well, that could be part of it. Sure. If we're at war, even though it's not on won't be on our territory, I hope. But you never know what could happen by then. I mean, Trump's pissing off. You can't piss off everybody, because if everybody gets together, then you kind of fucked. You know, and I don't worry about necessarily our physical safety, though I think that's going to decline too when you talk about terrorists coming into the country now, or putting a target on Americans wherever we are and here at home. You know, it's going to happen. But you have Stephen Miller earlier in the week saying that that we built those oil wells in Venezuela and we need to take them back. And that's, you know, I already talked a little bit about that last night. That's a whole big bag of fucking complete bullshit. You know, just making that statement that like we were, you know, that the American oil companies that built these wells weren't compensated for fucking years, you know, after building them. That's bullshit. They made millions. Anything other than them inviting us in is us being just being fucking world terrorists. You tell me how it's different. You know, folks think that that's easy for me to say. That at 55 years old, being born and raised in the Midwest, having people very close to me that were, you know, dedicated themselves to fucking serving our country. You think I don't fucking understand how serious this is and what we have a egomaniac asking our family members to do what? You tell me, you give me the definition, you explain to me how it is in our national security's interest to be doing this and how it doesn't have any effect on what anybody else around the world thinks of us, and rather, you know, their opinion somehow affects us or not, right? We don't need anybody. The isolationism that so many of us fucking screamed about. That's right. I turned my fucking head up towards the sky and I screamed, Trump wants to isolate America, you motherfuckers. Oh. Sam, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's absolutely I'm beside myself, as you might be able to tell. It's it's quite shameful. It's more than that. It's dangerous. We are being put in the worst possible position that we could ever want to be in. And this every president, I guess, runs on saying they'll make, the country better in this way, that way, improve or whatever, right? Man, you know, presidents do lousy jobs, and then there's Trump. It's like some presidents just don't get the shit done, don't really do any good. Some do some damage. And then there's Trump, like sitting all by himself at the fucking top of the heap of shit. Oh my gosh. I mean, think about it. It's going to kick back and as Americans, and you think we're going to know all the dirty crap? It's just not going to be limited to this. There's going to be people in Venezuela that are going to be innocent people, families that are going to be dying and affected by this. Yeah, Steph asks, what land assets did Venezuela steal? They won't list anything. Well, they may come to the oil. They may eventually just, I mean, Steve Miller basically said that, we built the oil wells and they should be ours, should be. So that tells you right there. It's what they're said. Venezuela has the largest deposits of oil on earth right now under their border. So and what, Republicans, Democrats, and Americans, what are we gonna do? And it's already happening. This is the second ship that's been seized. You can't undo that. It didn't say anything about that ship. That registered ship is not on a list of sanctioned ships for us. They're saying the oil is sanctioned. How do you prove? How do you show that? And yes, I get it. That oil probably is sanctioned. That's not what at all. Nowhere does it say that this is our job or this is the right of the United States to just go into international waters and do this. Period. No country. Chevron did steps. Chevron built most of those wells in the, I want to say, probably through the 60s and into the 70s. And then it was a 30-year transition. I just learned last night. I didn't know how long it had taken, but until the oil was nationalized, back to Venezuela. So it was a 30-year process starting in 1976 with Carter and ending in 2006, being finalized. I was surprised that it had been, you know, so recent, even though that's 20 years ago that it was finalized. We can't. We can't. Not by we can't. Not by our own laws that we hold ourselves to, not by international law, and not by any sort of fucking moral or I mean, it's completely immoral. Com- it's really, this is very, very I don't know why all of America isn't up in arms about this, because he's not stopping. And it doesn't matter if he did. Why are we allowing this shit? Why do we are not a country that needs to be taking part in this kind of fucking global terrorism? Are you kidding me? What is to stop us? Stop Trump or America, because I mean, this is our responsibility to get this fucking shit fixed. To stop us from doing this anywhere to anyone that is incapable of defending themselves against us, which is most of the world. I'm not saying that we sit here and take it in the ass from somebody. That's not what's happening. Trump is like fucking Genghis Khan. I don't understand how anybody could be proud or support what's happening here unless you are just a complete fucking shithead of a person. Because anybody that supports Trump in this crap would have nothing to do with having this being perpetrated upon us, right? Can you imagine? You think fucking countries don't have sanctions on us? So I ask, will Trump send ground troops in his new war against Venezuela? Only six votes so far, but 83% of the folks that voted said yes. Leave that up for as long as I'm up. So let's see if I can pull up some unfortunate reports on this. I have to get my shit together, sit up straight. Plus, I gotta expand this screen. Otherwise, I get yelled at for squinting. So, in the early morning hours, said before dawn, the U.S. intercepts a vessel amid military build-up on military buildup near Venezuela, and I made notes last night to see just how many people, how many troops we have over there. The last I knew, it was around 40,000 or something. So, and growing. Um, the full aircraft carrier fleet, which brings along with it a whole lot of other ships, like another dozen or so at least. Venezuela crude exports fall sharply after U.S. tanker seizure. Captured vessel believed to be part of Venezuela dark fleet of tankers. I don't know what the fuck that quote is. Dark fleet. It's probably some sort of Trump administration propaganda term. Maduro claims U.S. aims to overflow him and control Venezuela over oil reserves. Overthrow him, excuse me. So on December 20th, the United States intercepted an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela in international waters. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed Saturday, a move that comes just after U.S. President Donald Trump announced a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela. In the second time in recent weeks that the United States has gone after after a tanker near Venezuela amid large U.S. military buildup in the region. Noam confirmed the Coast Guard intercepted a tanker that was last docked in Venezuela. The United States will continue to pursue the. So, I don't know. Reuters is usually pretty good, but the Navy assisted in that. The Coast Guard did not intercept it on its own. As far, I mean, not that they aren't capable. I'm just saying that's not exactly how it went down. The United States will continue to pursue the illicit movement of sanctioned oil that is used to fund narco terrorism in the region. She said in a state posted to social media, we will find you and we will stop you. Now, see, and I don't know how much of that shit is true. Like, it's if it's a business, a interwoven business, right? Like, why would they be selling their oil if they're losing money on selling drugs, right? It says using the oil to fund the well, I guess it doesn't say the trafficking. It says to fund the narco terrorist state. Anyway. The Guardian reports the U.S. intercepts second merchant vessel off coast of Venezuela in international waters. The vessel does not appear to be on a list of U.S. sanctioned vessels. And I brought that up at the beginning of the stream that they're saying the oil was sanctioned, but not the ship. It's just, it's, look, the Trump administration does not need, you know, laws are kind of afterthought, maybe, probably not at all. So that kind of shit, it's pretty disgusting to have to sit here and say, that's that's the least of our worries is Trump breaking laws because he's breaking bigger ones, murdering people. U.S. forces on Saturday apprehended a second merchant vessel carrying oil off the coast of Venezuela in international waters in the midst of an American blockade against the country's oil, according to the U.S. Homeland Security Department. And it's just, how did we ever get to think it's just okay to go ahead? Because Trump says that all the fucking fentanyl and shit is cocaine and meth or whatever is coming through Venezuela, and it's not. I mean, no one's ever said it has. No one's ever thought that it has. Till Trump decided he wants to fucking make America rich. Or himself. Sorry. The stoppage follows the seizure of U.S. forces of another oil tanker off Venezuela's coast on December 10th. Both vessels were headed to Asia. They're saying that this oil is being refined somewhere in China. The British maritime risk management company Vanguard told Reuters that the vessel was believed to be the Panama-flagged Centuries and was intercepted east of Barbados in the Caribbean Sea. So we're seizing oil, or we're commandeering, seizing ships that are owned by Panama. It's fucking crazy, you guys. They can't, yeah, so they can't, it's pretty fucking bad. What are we going to do? Are we going to allow the president to sidestep Congress? And even no matter what, we've all, I mean, let's not forget that the Supreme Court told Trump that he could do anything he wants now. Any president is completely, free to commit whatever crimes they want without any repercussion, as long as they're sitting in that Oval Office. I mean, I don't think there were any exceptions to what SCOTUS had, said that a sitting president could be held accountable for, which is nothing. They can't be held accountable for anything. They are the most, they just, supreme leader time, man, of the world. Supreme leader of the world. That's what we got. How long before Trump changes his fucking title to presidential shit supreme leader bag of the highest C order? My God, James. James fucking just fucking choke me out now, dude. Seriously. James, can you just do a brother a favor and just kick me in the fucking face right now? Steel toe, maybe twice. Just kick me right in the fucking, kick me right. How about kick me right in the Adam's apple, James? I don't know what to do anymore. It's fucking, it's it's complete fucking cuckoo land. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. James says, this the fix is in. How do we stop the, in quotations, how do we stop the midterms? Because we know we're going to get our asses kicked. I know. Let's go to war. Signed, Donald J. Trump. Oh, man. Well, that's not going to stop. He should have just fucking waited then. I would rather him had him just say fuck it and enact martial law, because we already know, we've been discussing for this whole year, that that's what it's going to come down to. Challenge the people of the United States, you fucking coward. Challenge us. You're afraid of us, and you should be. Enjoy your fucking Christmas while I terrorize the world, America. You can thank me later as I sit here and fucking murder people on a fucking religious holiday. As I steal, lie, cheat, and steal on the holidays. How about that, you guys? Is America winning yet? Are we winning? That's what's going on. What are we, 5 days, 4 days out from Christmas? And Trump has our friends, our family members out there running around the world being pirates, threatening the world in international waters. Why? Because he believes the lie that drugs that are killing Americans are coming to that country, which they're not. Put all that manpower into the borders, into our ports. Don't just go running around fucking killing people and doing whatever you want. It's disgusting. So here we are, another Republican warmonger. Are you shocked? I'm not. And it's pretty disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, Sam says it amazes me on how 10 months ago they said, I voted for no new wars. And now they say this is exactly what I voted for. Yeah, dude. That's Well, there's some really special. Sam, that's what I don't know. What do we do? I don't promote violence at all. Obviously, this is why I'm so fucking pissed off about this shit. But we have, to Sam's point, we have like 50 million maniacs, Trump supporters out there that have their don't know what they want because they can't deny it. They voted for no new wars, and absolutely they're all, this is what we voted for. They think this is some sort of, that we have a right to this in the name of national security, but there's no, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. How this makes us, it does nothing but make us more insecure. I don't know how many rational people that uh are conservatives that, I just might not, and I say they are rational because just because I don't agree with them on necessarily on social policy doesn't mean that they totally get, they would just, it's the kind of quiet folks you live next door to that really do have their shit together, that understand that this isn't America at all, you know? You know how many people I've seen and talked to already today that have said that does nothing but put a target on our back and make us more insecure, make us, you know, degrades our security, our national security. Nobody, it's gonna fuck with us, as far as trade goes too. Nobody's gonna want to deal with us. Right now, Trump is showing the world that he will just go take whatever he wants. Tell me how it's any different. Hey, Bear, what's up, sister? Cheers to you. Steph says, justify war by saying, oh, okay, now we're getting rid of fentanyl, right? And this is what I voted for. Yeah, and but they don't need, and again, back to Sam's point, how these motherfuckers will just do what they are told and will say what they're told to say and believe what they're told to believe. Um, the only evidence they need for that fentanyl is coming into the U.S. through Venezuela, which it's not, is Trump told them. And I've seen that bullshit over and over. Like, is all I need to know is what Trump is telling us. He's not going to lie to us. And it's like, it's that clear for him. Like, you would, we would all love that if we could just, we should be able to take our president at his word, but we know that's not been the case with any president, probably for a very long time, right? Let's just hope that the shit that they aren't, being straight with us about isn't anything like what's going on here. But it has been. Like I said, with two Republican presidents, for sure. You know what I mean? Making up bullshit and creating a fucking an enemy where there isn't one. We're the enemy. We're the fucking terrorists. We are the goddamn terrorists in this scenario. Mm. A Bear says, good day here in Bearland. I surprised Mr. Bear by decorating the dining room, and he surprised me by putting the tree up. While you were distracted in the dining room, was he putting the tree up? That's good stuff. We didn't decorate. I don't know if I told you. I asked Mrs. She usually does after Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving weekend. She always gets the tree out, and I'm like, no decoration. She's like, no, we're going to D.C. And I'm like, all right, good enough. She didn't say it like that. I just want to be clear. Yeah, it's a complete fucking cult. You guys, I feel helpless. And it bothers me. And maybe, I'm serious. I honestly hope I'm not coming off as some sort of drama queen. I feel like kind of like we're just, you know, I understand there's not much we can do in the immediate, right? I do understand that. And so maybe I can take it down a notch, maybe, but it's like it's not happening to us. You know what I mean? It's like with the Ukraine thing. These sick motherfucking Trumpers are like, there's not tanks rolling down my road. You know, I don't have fucking, we don't have 6 year olds by the dozens the next town over living every day in a bomb shelter, looking like they're just completely shattered. You know what I mean? You look on the faces of those kids and they're just completely shattered. They don't care. It's like out of sight, out of mind, I guess. I mean, when does America become a fucking beacon of hope again? Do I sound like I got a cold? I almost sound like I got a cold to me or something, but I don't. Probably just because I think this is like the fifth night in a row I've been streaming. So I'm always yapping a lot online, but it's usually through a keyboard. So my fingertips aren't bruised or anything, but my voice is maybe taking a hit from running my mouth every night. Yeah, Sam says his name being on everything reminds you of what you'd see in North Korea. Yeah, I just watched another Sam, I don't know. I just watched I can try and find it for you guys if you're really interested. I can tell you it was National Geographic with Lisa Ling. I had no idea that her sister was abducted by North Korea in early 2000s, like I don't know, 2005, 9 or something like that, 2006. I just seen that National Geographic, so if you're into that kind of shit, like trying to learn about the places like North Korea that are very, very, very hard to learn about to get any information out of. But that's one of the things. I mean, they just, to Sam's point, the Kim family fellas, little Kim, his dad, and then his granddad are like gods. I mean, they really are just really feel like they are the last stronghold against the evil American West. I'm not kidding. It's not funny, but I had no idea Lisa Ling, the reporter, the who I love, that her sister was abducted until last week. I watched that National Geographic. James says the Trump coin pisses me off the most, A Bear, especially the part where it says in wigs we. What do you mean? Is there official piece of U.S. currency? Please don't tell me there is. Did you're probably gonna be like Jesus Christ TV, get your shit together. I hope not. That's just doesn't Congress have to vote on that? Gloria, what's up, sister? Cheers to you. Where do you live, Steph? We're leaving fucking Wednesday morning. Where do you live? I don't know if we're gonna have 3 or 4 of us yet, because I haven't talked to my son. Leaving that between him and his mom. He wants to bring his own coin out. Yeah, I knew that, James, like that he wanted to I mean, I know Trump would love nothing more than to be on our currency, like the Queen. But let's hope that I mean, I don't know what to say if it matters that we can't have that. It's just disgusting, right? I'd refuse to fucking spend them. Gloria says TV Bill Clinton got yes. Yeah, that was part of that deal. That's right. Absolutely, Gloria. So you know the story. I was blown away. I don't know if it was a story I'd heard and forgotten, but it doesn't. I mean, being only in the last 20 years that happened, it seems like I just didn't, I never had learned about it. Yes, Bill Clinton flew over there in a very kind of controversial top secret thing, or sort of top secret, because Hillary was the Secretary of State at the time. So it all made, yeah, just a really, they're fucking nuts. Little Kim just, I mean, their whole thing is just trying to get in the same room with the other world leaders, right? Trying to pretend that they're on that same level. Yeah, but Amy, how's that going to work out? Is everything going to be rounded off now? Is that right? I guess. You guys can give me a hard time. I was asking myself that the other day. I'm like, are we just gonna does everything change? Has it already changing? Like, there's just gonna be no odd numbers. Like, no more 9.99. Everything's gonna be $10 or 10.05. What about tax? Like, we have a 6 cent sales tax here in the U.S. or in Michigan. How's that gonna work? Look, I'm Dutch for one. I want to know that if they're going to round shit off, that's fine, but they better round it off in my favor. Where's the $18 trillion in fucking tariffs that Trump said he was going to share with us? And then I don't care about my pennies. All right, you guys. It's been long enough. It's 45 minutes. Are you ready? Round 1. Rounder Records. I got a cone here. Part of a cone. Hey Bear, that's not fair. That's not a fair answer. It's not immaterial. Maybe you may be absolutely right about most people using plastic, but that doesn't answer the question. I use cash. We use cash quite often. In fact, I don't want to get into that. We do have 2 cards. The one we use the most is not a debit card. It's only we're only able to draw money out of a machine, or we go to it, which our bank has Our credit union has a couple machines that we're not like it's free for us to draw money out, but or to use our card, but it's not. We're not. You can't use it at a store to pay. And still, that doesn't answer. How are they going to deal with that when people go pay cash? It's too late. I'm smoking a crack joint. I have, so this is my fucking crack cone joint, and I have, well, it was like a salad thing with meth, and then they sprinkled some fentanyl on the end, or maybe there's some fentanyl in the cone part of it. I don't know. Oops. I just fucking ashed my keyboard. All right, A Bear, I love you. I'll leave you alone about the pennies. I don't know if I like those or not. That one's a little bit harsh. I don't smoke weed. I don't usually smoke weed. I got my dabs, but Mrs. V has all kinds of those cones fucking hanging out in the living room, so I went and grabbed one that she had smoked half of. Some Ozempic. I forget what that's for. I know the song. Oh, 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 Ozempic. Is that it? I forget what that one's for. I can't keep track of those. I probably I'm 55 now, so most of the commercials that we see, I could probably what might benefit me. I don't know. There's Sky Rizzy, but I forget what that's for. Is Ozempic for my skin? I can't keep them straight. Weight loss. So it's kind of for my skin. Am I looking chubby? I do got a belly. I'm not going to show you guys that. That would be absolutely crude and rude. Yeah, so I guess we're just sitting here waiting for. We have 317 days left for Trump to enact, declare martial law. Is it going to be bad if I just really become completely fucking cynical for the next year? I don't know. Would that be cynical if it's actually true? Would I be being cynical? I guess I have to be patient because the rest of America doesn't most of America isn't fucking paying attention the way most of us here do. Right? Is that fair for me to say, or should I just be like there's no excuse, which is how I feel, to fucking know what the fuck's going on and to not be happy about it at all, right? Like, James says he went shopping today. God, it was awful. Did 3 laps of the shopping complex and ended with, "Let me think about it. We can always come back tomorrow." That's true, James. I don't know. I'm not following you. I don't get what your I don't get what your frustration is. Is Mrs. M not completely right that you can come back tomorrow? Sam says it's totally fair for me to ask or assume. Yeah, so maybe I should give folks a chance. It's only been what, 12, 18 hours or whatever since we committed another act of piracy on Venezuela. Oh, not Venezuela, Panama. I mean, it's a the boat is registered to Panama, so yeah, I can do that. I can be a little bit patient. We'll wait until tomorrow after everybody gets out of church, and then they better have their fucking shit together and be pissed off at what's happening, because it's now not just one ship, it's 2 ships. It's fuck, I don't even know how many ships they actually blew up and sank. I know it's been 80 some people. Should I just get my shit together and bring up some nice boring stats? I could. Oh, do this shit right. I have to admit that I do like the chat GTP. So it might not tell me this. Chat GTP is a little bit protective of Trump, and that's irritated me a couple times, but the question you're asking could refer to a variety of incidents, so I'll give you a general idea. Thank you, ChatGTP. There have been a few significant interactions between the United States and Venezuela involving naval incidents or boat-related operations. See what I mean? It's a complete crock of fucking shit. I ask it how many Venezuelan boat. Well, all right. See, but if I ask how many Venezuelan boats Trump has blown up, it'll give me some bullshit story how it can't answer it. I'm fucking arguing with a goddamn computer now. And I'm giving this fucking computer a sarcastic fucking I'm going to ask how many in all caps supposed drug boats has the US blown up? This year. Maybe I should say since September. I actually, I don't want to go into that. First time the other night, I actually, during this, I asked ChatGTP about the rescheduling of marijuana, and it said that it was still class 1 because it only been a couple hours since Trump signed it. So I told it, I said, no, Trump just signed rescheduled marijuana on this date, and I said the date, and it pops back up. Oh, I see. You've already something something. Our sometimes it takes me a minute to catch up with what's going on in the news or whatever. And I said, no worries. Thanks for your help. I've never done that. It's a little bit freaky. I had a little bit got a kick out of it, but it I was just like, I didn't think I was talking to anybody, you guys. I don't know. Probably so many of you probably have already done that, haven't you? Have any of you guys thanked the AI chatbot? All right. I, I'm gonna. I'll finish reading that, but I gotta get back into. I gotta find you guys again so I can. I gotta know if any of you have ever thanked an AI chatbot. Sam says I've had a conversation with my brother last week. He straight up told me it's not about the oil. Yeah, I don't. I have a couple close friends that are Trumpers, and since the election, I we've just well, shit started. She's not happy with some of the shit Trump's done, but I haven't antagonized her about it. Sam says most people don't follow politics at all until about 4 weeks before a presidential election, right? And the majority of people that do vote only vote once every 4 years. Yeah, instead of doing their local elections. Right on. I'll be honest. I was terrible about not voting in past years. I had some legal reasons I couldn't vote for a short time, but I totally get it. I try not to overdo it, but I'm trying to make up for, you know, I just want, I agree, I guess. It's very important to, you don't have to fucking live the shit necessarily like maybe, I'm not saying it's my whole life, but I do live it. And you don't have to be like that, but I think folks absolutely, it's our responsible, ability. I used to when I was a fucking young dumbass and wasn't voting. I would be like, people would say, well, if you don't vote, you don't get to fucking bitch, and it's like I pay taxes, so I do get to bitch, and it's like that's how you bitch, you vote. That's the catalyst. That's your vehicle for bitching is the vote. You get in your fucking vote and you can have your say. So yeah, I'm right. I'm right with Sam on that. Hopefully this will be a massive turnout for midterms, right? James says, I am really hoping someone invents a mechanism when you are about to enter an aisle in a store. Neon sign flashes do not enter. It causes your life to stop like Trump on an escalator. Yeah, yeah. And the most important things to us are always our domestic policies, right? Or that's what people are most concerned with when they're informing themselves. Those who do vote, they may just want to know what what the candidates have to say about domestic policies and don't really give a shit about foreign policies. And I think we have to it's all important. It's a small fucking marble and it's getting smaller, right? All right. I got to go back to that. I just wanted to give an update. As of my knowledge, cut off in October 2023. I can't. Okay, you guys, I got to show you this. This is interesting. I'm glad I didn't blow it off. This is crazy, you guys. This is the response I just got from ChatGTP. Hold on. I got to get a new freaking window up. I have not read it. I started to read it and I realized what it was going to tell me. So this is fucked up. I'm just trying to. I'll leave that up so you know it's Chat GTP. I'm just trying to expand this so you can see it. All right. So let's go back to my question. I ask how many supposed drug boats has the U.S. blown up since September 2025? And here's ChatGTP's response. As of my knowledge, cut off in October 2023, I can't provide real time or post 2023 data. So I don't have, it's 2025, by the way. So I don't have specifics about any incidents such as U.S. operations against drug boats that might have occurred since September 2025. That's what I just asked. However, to give you some context, U.S. Naval and Coast Guard operations in the Caribbean, Central America, and South America have focused on drug interactions. These operations aim to intercept vessels involved in transporting illicit drugs, participating in cocaine from South America to the United States, and many of the. So, wow, there we go. Anyways, how about that? Hmm. Well, I can't use Grok. I mean, I could. I have never even tried, and I'm pretty much like, fuck that shit. I don't usually use AI for anything other than recently I've been using it to just create graphics and stuff for some of these streams. But yeah, there we go. Police state. Trump has attacked all of our fucking media institutions, and now look at you can't even get AI. You can't ask them a clean, honest question. Yeah, James says, and the climate should be the number one issue. It should be, but never is. Yeah, because as long today we had something to drink and we were still able to breathe, James. That's what it is. You were able to have, and you know I don't mean you specifically, but we we were able to have a nice clean drink of water, and we woke up and the sun was shining and we were able to breathe. And so everything's fine with the climate. What will Trump do if will Trump fucking blow up the oil wells in Venezuela if he can't have like fucking Saddam Hussein did? Didn't he? Wasn't he the one who did that? Blew him up in Kuwait or something like that. Well, so far we have 12 votes. I asked, will Trump send in ground troops in his new war against Venezuela? And 75% of you folks said he will. I too believe he will, and this is why. And it makes a huge difference, right? It makes all the difference in the world as far as how guilty, how obviously guilty and criminal is what they are doing right now. Well, I guess the tipping point is supposedly what is needed what is congressional approval needed for. And ground troops, it's very clear that to send in ground troops, you have to have congressional approval. So that's why one reason some folks, I guess, aren't as up in arms as I am about what's going on right now in the international waters. Um, but I say he will send in ground troops because how else are we going to seize the oil wells? How else are we going to do it if we don't send in ground troops? It would have to be a complete regime change, which my uncle was in the chat last night and he suggested, which is also going to be part of it because we have to have not we, Trump would have to have someone that's, you know, a dick licker to be in, you know, to be the leader of the country there for once we take control of, you know, the oil wells. So either way, you can't, it's not, he would have to have, unless Trump's hoping for a regime change, be without sending in ground troops, and that's not going to happen. I don't know how many times we haven't learned, the U.S. hasn't learned its lesson on that, but that is not going to happen. God damn it. I don't feel like that thing's. For fuck's sake, it is quiet. Check it. All right. We'll go with that. They're fucking morons, A-Bear. I'm disgusted. I don't know why I keep using the excuse that I am just, it's like why we might take any interest, I should say, in those Fruit Loops at all is because, like I said earlier in the stream, there's 50 million of them. There's 50 million Lalas out there. Oh, man. I'm sorry. That's the truth. Can we just start calling Trumpers the Lalas now? So there's 50 million. Putin, what's up, brother? Cheers to you. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Putin says they don't need to send in ground troops. They can use drones to destabilize. Destabilizing isn't going to do it unless they can get a regime change with that destabilization. And I don't think it's happening, brother. That's just my opinion. When have we been successful at regime changes that have worked out to benefit us or whatever the goal was in the past? They're so far and few between. Yeah, they're going to use all kind. I'm just saying that if Trump has any, so I want to be clear about then I guess I wasn't. If Trump has any desire at all that he is going to physically control those oil wells, then there will have to be troops on the ground. He'll have to have somebody on the ground in his favor, and it isn't going to be a regime change. I mean, I think maybe there are some folks that would still say that Venezuela isn't a narco state, and it is. I mean, their military, their generals are 100% on the take. All of them. And I don't get that information from the Trumpers, or the Trump administration. Yeah, there is a lot of support for Maria Mercado, but not in the right places, just from the citizens, right? I mean, what are they going to do? That's part of the reason Venezuela is in the state it's in, is because the people there have been oppressed so for so long and so badly, right? Yeah. Putin says 8 million people have fled. She has already offered a good amount of percentage of resources and has been in talk with Trump administration. James says I pissed and it's not on Santa, probably going to bring me more socks again. Better than coal. All the files are to be released. Yeah. I was up until we streamed until after midnight East Coast time last night just to be here. And so yeah, Pam Bondi is in full violation of the law that Trump, her boss, just signed 30 days ago. Putin says she offered a way better percentage than Maduro has offered. Yeah, it could happen. It's going to be, it's just going to be, don't you think it's going to be bloody either way? I mean, maybe even if it isn't like, if there isn't any chaos involving like American troops on the ground, you don't think it's going to get really, really ugly for the whole country? Like, it isn't going to just be like she's going to come in and that's going to be the end of it, right? Like, her and Maduro, I mean, I don't know. Unless Maduro gets sick of being beat up and chased down, do you think he would? I don't see people like that giving up, right? He's just another fucking Putin or little Kim, right? Or any of these other maniacs. I don't. Uh, who's the God? Why Lukashenko? You know, I see those people always just fighting until their death. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, whatever way would be most peaceful, I guess. But I don't want to be. I'm not into being any part of Trump bullying some other country based on fucking lies about drug trafficking. Yeah, exactly, dude. That's what I just said. The generals across the board are. It is a narco state at that level. The generals across the board are on the take. Are benefiting from the drug trafficking, but it's not coming into the U.S. for one, most of it, and there's no way anybody's gonna change those people's minds. So I don't know how strong that you know that level is with the generals of these military forces that are clearly, however, the real details are, but they run cover for, they make, they keep the roads clear in a sense for the drug traffickers is what it comes down to. They're paid well to do more than just turn their head. Corruption does revolve around the resources as well. But for people to say that the fucking drug trafficking is being funded by the oil, that's insane. The generals are supportive, yeah, because they participate in corruption. The troops below can be swayed. Right, but it's going to be messy. Some of the troops, that's what I was just asking, like how down the ladder or rung are these people? And because it doesn't matter, the troops, they're also being paid. This is, it's not like you can really separate, like just the generals are being paid and benefiting from, or maybe their next in command are benefiting from the drug trafficking. it's it's so all interwoven into the communities there. Yeah. I mean, how many people sadly wouldn't have jobs if they weren't somehow supporting these the drug trafficking? Maybe not directly like wanting to be drug, actual traffickers, but it's a whole system. But again, too, at the end of the day, it's not I don't know what it has to do with us, brother. I mean, if there was a legitimate president or leader there that and I know the obviously the election there um was completely fucking corrupt, but and was asking for our support, that's great, but that's not at all how this is going down. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how anybody could be a want to be a part or have anything to do with any of this process that Trump is doing right now. It's just complete fucking it's I mean, being calling him a bully is being afraid of saying what it really is. It's fucking terrorism. Trump is one of the worst world leaders right now, and I don't think we should. My only focus is gonna my focus is gonna be on how do we minimize that and stop it as soon as possible. James says, I can't wait until the National Guard are going to free Tina Peters. Hopefully, they remembered their rakes. 10 days of darkness coming. Yeah. I mean, it's just complete fucking. Everything he's doing is absolutely bass backwards from what any sane, rational, even just, semi decent person, maybe just regular half assed C minus morals, ethics. But that was crazy that fucking it's really disgusting that Chat GTP wouldn't answer. I might have I should probably beat it up with some other variations on the question, but God, I do sound like I don't feel like it. I feel like I sound like, but I'm always kind of nasally, ain't I? Oh, it's not gonna let me. All right, paywall. I think it's just one of the most fucking Christmassy type things that I could ever imagine. That 4 days before Christmas, Trump is once again asking folks that dedicated themselves, volunteered to defend our country, to do participate in what is clearly some of the most fucking unethical, actions that you could. It's there's nothing American about what is going on over there. Nothing. All right, you guys, I've been at this for about an hour and 20 minutes. I got to do a BRB real quick and just check on the hounds, but it'll be like 2 seconds. Maybe grab a water or something, all right? Hang tight, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, but I'm still chewing deer jerky. I was just quick looking at all the different ways the U.S. has failed in the past at trying to be involved in regime changes. A new subway in Rome. Yeah, we need like a transcontinental, not a transcontinental railroad, but a transcontinental railway or rail system, right? Like a fucking bullet train. That would be badass, man. Like if you could fucking how long? Well, what is it, you guys? A 6 hour flight or something? 4 hours? 5 hours? If you went from one coast to the other on a plane? So it might be how fast are those bullet trains? 180 miles an hour or something, I think. Maybe they go over 200. Oh yeah, yeah, there is some that are faster than that, like 300 miles an hour. Yeah, like those Lev trains. Oh, you need 200 miles an hour, it says. People take Greyhounds and do that kind of shit, don't they? And the slow trains across the U.S. I heard that shit's sketchy though, or can be, I suppose. I don't know why we can't have nice things. What do you think the big reason is, Putin? Is it because of fucking a $1.1 billion a year defense budget? I mean, we have three things that pretty much suck up the majority of our annual budget, right? But I wouldn't think that would matter anymore. Trump has brought in like $18 trillion in tariff revenue in the last 6 months. So I don't know, dude. We should not only should we have a fucking setup like they have there in Rome, we should have a Rome with that kind of tariff revenue. We should have our own Rome. I don't know, man. It's all too much. Putin, you probably missed the part where I ask everybody if it's going to be okay if I really become quite the cynical bastard. I don't really think any of us are going to have a choice, including myself. Yep. Yeah. Lack of willpower. Well, in Rome, this is all way too see, I'm gonna be bad. In Rome, did they not isn't that where they had the bread and circuses? Well, here in America it's bread crumbs and circuses, and soon it's just gonna be circuses. I have to hit my cone again. I don't do that very often. A Bear was giving me shit about getting stoned on the stream. It's like I always do, you just don't see it happening. I shouldn't say that because I'm rarely stoned. At least I don't think it's been a while since I've actually felt stoned. I've just been getting a good charge out of yapping with some of you guys lately, for sure. A Bear had me in tears last night, fucking trying to accuse me of the show of being professional. James says, however, I can't wait for the tremendous archers. Trump is going to build that are better than the ones Napoleon Bonaparte had ordered on Amazon, and they need to be, then they'd be named Arc de Burger. James, don't forget the trebuchets and the ballistas and the catapults, because you can't have a golden a golden age war without all the best medieval time weapons. I have to be honest. A trebuchet would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Can you see me? I can mount that bitch right up on the fucking roof of the house. Never know. Yeah, fuck that shit. You guys are out of your mind. I'm not driving. What is it that it's not the like a Pyongyang bridge. It's I'd bet that both James and Putin know what I'm talking about. I do believe it's the longest bridge like in the world or whatever, the craziest, where there's several kilometers of it and then it goes under the water down into a tunnel like at this island point and then back out, and it's like no fucking way am I you getting me to drive my car under the goddamn water like that. I don't care. I know I'm such a pussy. That's all right. Why are you guys always fucking pushing Mother Nature's buttons? I thought we were better than that on the left. What's wrong with continuing to float over the water? I'm fine with that. I'd even get my car onto a boat and float over the water, but I'm not driving under it. I'm not driving under it in a vehicle made to drive under the water, and I'm not driving under it in my vehicle that isn't made to drive under the water. So I know some of this shit is boring, people, but it's I did stream for about 4 hours last night, waiting for the final deadline on the Epstein files. Right, Bondi had until, well, was it it's Todd? Another, I keep forgetting to bring that up because we've had um Susie Wiles begging to be fired, right? With the Vanity Fair interviews. I mean, there's no way around that. I don't think she's clearly wanted to be part of the fucking madness, and now, and she's, you know, she's smarter than most all the rest of those ding dongs put together, right? She may be a fucking creep, but she's not stupid, and she's been at it for a very long time. But so she's trying to separate or distance herself now. I mean, come on, it's not just a chief of staff. What kind of no chief of staff would get away with saying the shit that she said, and that let alone being Trump's. So she's begging to be fired. So it'll look like she has, pushed back and they just wouldn't listen to her type of thing or whatever it'll be. And then Elise Stefanik and Bongino and Marjorie Taylor Greene and now Pam Bondi, you know, this is going to be like supposedly the biggest thing, in, well, it could be. I mean, if for whatever reason, we would stop, the people who are able to really make this, to clean this shit up, we're willing to, whatever. I don't know. If I guess it's just because it's too many high profile people. I don't, you know what I mean? Is that possible? I mean, if you have any fucking, if you're actual human beings, is it possible to say that there can be too many? Just can't do it because it's gonna cause too many waves. Are you fucking kidding me? I have, none of us were in on that shit. So now it's showing that. So it's odd that Bondi has would not be a bigger part of this, or you know, I mean, it's more than she's just kind of let the Todd Blanche take the reins on this. And I'm looking at this. Is it going to show up for you guys? It is not. But I have it all fucked up, so. It says at least 16 files disappear from the DOJ site for Epstein documents, including Trump photo. It's just never going to end, right? AP in New York says that at least TV's got it. Just going to blow it up so I don't have to squint and hurt. At least 16 files disappeared from the Justice Department public web page for documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, including a photograph showing President Donald Trump less than a day after they were posted. With no explanation from the government, with no notice to the public, the missing files, which were available Friday and no longer accessible by Saturday, included images of paintings and depicted nude women and one showing a series of photographs along with credenza and in drawers. Photographs along a credenza and in drawers. In that image, inside a drawer, among other photos, was a photograph of Trump alongside Epstein, Melania Trump, and Epstein's longtime associate, Maxwell. So I didn't know about that. I heard that there were a couple files that had disappeared. I just heard that not long ago before I started streaming, but um I haven't even I had the link to it pinned last night to the stream, but you know, what are you going to do? You can't go through all of that shit, right? Oh, it looks like they've changed. Or maybe not. Yeah, this is a little bit. This isn't the exact. Hmm. Anyways, it is the same privacy notice. See, now this is bullshit. If it's already there's evidence, it's clear because this is all right. I mean, there's not going to be anybody debating whether or not that those files were taken down. Um, I read this over a couple times last night live because it's like it says, you know, protecting the personal and sensitive information of victims and private individuals. And Trump isn't a private individual. And so now we see that they were removing files of Trump in there, and he's not a private individual. But I suppose none of that is much of a shocker, right? Of course it isn't. Jim, what's up, brother? Cheers to you. I'm sitting here chewing on deer jerky again. Somebody has to eat it. Jim, I don't know how long you've been listening, but my cynicism has gotten a little bit fucking raw, and I don't give a fuck. What kind of person would I be if I wasn't myself? I don't want to hear no bullshit about a better person either. Well, TV, if you weren't you, you might be better. That may be true in some sense or in some ways. I don't know. I don't know what else to. It's not my fault. This is how I was made. Maybe it's get that I'm getting. Can I use the excuse that I'm getting old and cranky? Laura, what's up, sister? Cheers to you. I think it's my mind is in survival mode, right? Where when traumatic things start happening to you, you have to, it just automatically deals with it in its own way. I think cynicism is the choice that my subconscious has made to keep me what I am, I guess, to keep the rest of the pieces from falling off. Human, what's up, brother? Cheers to you. Human says if I if I can use that excuse, he can too. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're all in this shit show together. I'm here for you guys. I'm going to be a sarcastic, cynical, depressing bastard, but I'm here for you. Like had to explain to A Bear last night. Nobody comes in here expecting to be entertained. Or at least not in a good way. But that's all right. It's okay. That's all right. 'Cause I got my list. Contentment. I have not tried to. I doubt many of you guys have. Maybe if you have, it probably just for shits and giggles, right? Tried searching out anybody's name in that Epstein, that Department of Justice.gov. What is it? Yeah, justice.gov. See, it wasn't for. There we go. No. Yeah, maybe I should go back to. Oops. The homepage there is different than it was last night. And that is the only one that I'm seeing right now that is actually from the Justice Department's website, right? Leading directly with Epstein in the URL. Yeah, that's weird. Anyways, so I'm not surprised. It's been however long. It was probably almost 20 hours since I last was on that site. So whatever, they changed it up a little bit. And I'm not saying that because of this, that's something, you know, has any relation to these files that they've removed. But it just looks different. I'm just noting that it looks different to me than it did last night. They just immediately had all the PDFs lined right up, clickable ones. Now apparently you have to go in and search out specific ones. Maybe they weren't. Maybe it's too much fucking information. I have no idea. But yeah, you could just scroll down and it was just like you're fucking online looking through on a browser, right? It just had all the clickable PDFs lined up and then page numbers. Laura says the CIA already went in. Oh, I gotta catch up with you guys. He says the poll. I don't know if it's troops that'll get sent in or just Yeah, right. Well, I think that would be even more dangerous. Could be more dangerous, human, because I don't. That would. Yeah, to human. So human says I don't know if it's troops that will get sent into Venezuela, um, or just undefinable operatives and private security forces. They would have to be massive, though. And I think it's gonna, and that was my point when yapping with Putin, is that it's gonna be a bloodbath regardless. If Trump thinks he's gonna get, if he's gonna get even a regime change, which I went over that scenario, it's like there's two ways for him to get control of these wells, and that's to go in physically, which he'd have to do with physical bodies to get our hands on these wells, his hands, not mine, or a regime change, which is no way in hell is going to be clean. I mean, the place is already it's already a goddamn disaster over there in a lot of places. So the forces would, I can agree that maybe, I mean, certainly that's an option, that crossed my mind, but only for like a split second. It's like the days of this, because I brought up, it's like, how many times have we tried this and failed miserably? And it's like, yeah, those were a lot of like CIA agent type days, but there's no way in hell that they would be able to go to try that form again. Yeah, I don't see how the government hiring private forces is legal either. And maybe, and not that Human is suggesting it is, because we all know that Trump doesn't give a fuck about what the law is. He's not doing anything by what we would do by our standards, our, laws, or by international law. Yeah, Human says Blackwater versus Wagner, or Blackwater, Wagner versus everyone else, right? Yeah, I don't know, Laura. That's a good question. Certainly there's operatives inside, like gathering information, right? But no, I don't. As far as like have we sent in some sort of forces, operative, actual armed forces? I don't think so. I mean, maybe any of these agents are going to be armed themselves to protect themselves. There's probably, you know, supposedly strategic exit plans in case anything got out of hand, which we've seen that shit happen. Any of you guys that watch or read or pay attention to any of the stuff that we've done in this manner in the past, like Cuba, you know, it just is, it's almost endless. So, and it's not that it never, but a huge majority of the time it does not work out in our favor. And even sometimes when it does, it doesn't last long, right? Like, because it's just, you can't control, and especially nowadays. And I'll tell you what, I do not know exactly how strong and like um how cohesive the military is in Venezuela, which is clearly, you know whatever the terms people want to use, it's a narco state as right now. I mean, it's impossible to say it isn't when the military is being paid, or many of them, certainly all the upper ranking military is being paid or benefiting from the drug smuggling, which again isn't making its way to America. All that shit's going to Europe, Australia. Not that that makes any difference, but it's not, the way, it sucks that you have to sit there and we have to yap about this in that context, that none of us want to see fucking hard drugs being fucking moved all over, how, you know what I mean, being pumped into our streets. But it has nothing to do with that. Jim says Cuba, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Honduras. Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, it's like, you think Trump is going to be capable? The Trump administration is going to be capable of pulling this shit off when we've never been able to fuck it, or not never again, but so many fucking nightmares. Not What about Lebanon? It's just nonstop. Yeah, the Falkland Islands. Yeah. But the Trumpers don't want to be the world police, you guys. So this is how we're doing it. We're not going to police the world. We're just going to police Venezuela, and then we'll see what's going on. Once we fix them, we'll see what else is going on. We're just trying to help. I'm sorry I lied. It isn't about the drug trafficking. We just want to help the people of Venezuela. We want our oil wells. We want the rare. I mean, we should get something out of it. And a Cuban cigar. No more infrastructure, James. James, everything's great here in America. Shush. It's Venezuela that we have to focus on. James, how are we going to fight in Venezuela if we don't build the archers? Damn it. The archers, James. Now you make me want to do something with some sort of fucking animation. Would I get in trouble for that? Have a bunch of fucking red hat fucking morons fucking with their bow and arrow. We're just here to help the people. The most magnificent archers you've ever seen. That's what they say, James. And a Cuban cigar. All right. Well, you guys have wasted another couple good hours of your life that you'll never get back. There you go, human. Trump was like, "Oh, I didn't mean archers. I meant arches. Not the golden archers, the golden arches." Ba 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 ba. All right. All right, you guys I gotta fuck off, but James gets the last word. James says, Trump is apparently excited about the World Cup. He said he looks forward to throwing out the first ball. Oh man. You guys are all right. I do not care what the Trumpers say about you. They say the same shit about me, so I'll see you soon. I appreciate I do. You be good, all right? Peace and love. TV2 out.